What's going on? Welcome back to Beat, Feet, and Retreat Military History. This is the final part, the third part in our cleaning of the Zastava M48B. So you may have realized that I overemphasized the word B in the intro here, and the reason is because we put some more research into this firearm, and I had it wrong. So it's not an M48A. The M48A and the M48B are both marked M48A, but the way that you know it's an M48B is if it has a stamped trigger guard. They didn't have an actual B mark, so this is actually an M48B. So just above the M48A marking, but remember this is an M48B, there's the Yugoslav People's Crest, and there's actually 5 torches there. And if you were to do just a Google search of Yugoslavian crest, what would pop up is actually 6 flags. This is the crest that was used prior to 1963. Keep in mind, there's also a wide variety of crests because the tools used to stamp these were made by individual artisans. So there's 4 M48 models. There's the M48, there's the M48A, there's the M48B, and there's the M48BO. So the M48 has all milled parts, just like the early German Kar98K. And then the M48A has a stamped floor plate, and then the M48B, which is what this is, has a stamped floor plate and the stamped trigger guard. And then the M48BO is scrubbed of all markings that would link it back to Yugoslavia. This was so they could sell the rifle to nations, I believe, that were in the Middle East and Africa. For all intents purposes, this Mauser looks very German, like the German style, from the sight hood all the way down to the butt plate. But there's 3 distinct ways that you can tell this is a Yugoslavian Mauser. First way you can tell that this is a Yugoslavian Mauser and not a German Mauser is that there is no takedown disc right here. On the German one, there's actually a hole right here where you can put that firing pin and press down on it. In the last video, the table was extremely flimsy, so we had to go do it someplace else. With the German version, you can do it right here in the stock. The second way you can tell this is a Yugoslavian Mauser is that there's no scalped out piece of wood here. The Yugoslavians opted for scalping out the bottom of the bolt, where if you look at the German equivalent, there'd be like a scoop here in the wood, and this is so you can get under the bolt with a gloved hand. Another way you can tell that this is Yugoslavian and not German, the final way, is this wood section right here. The German ones, it'll just be metal, and there will be no wood heat guard here. So it kind of rises up, and from a distance is an easy way to tell that this is a Yugoslavian Mauser and not a German. You may also notice, if you have a keen eye, that the sling is not correct to the Yugoslavian variants. This is just what I had laying around. This is a reproduction German sling. The Yugoslavian ones, they're a different leather and they're smaller. That's the best way to describe it. So the reason this gun is in such good shape is because in the 50s and 60s when these guns were designed, they were already out of date. Everyone in the world had gone to semi-automatic and fully automatic battle rifles as well as assault rifles. So this bolt action rifle being produced in the 50s and 60s was just completely overclassed. So what they did with these old bolt action rifles, specifically in Yugoslavia in this case, was they would put these right into storage. Dip them in cosmoline. You saw the whole process. Dip them in cosmoline, and then put them in storage. And that's why a large number of them came into the United States, spotless or refurbished and in excellent shape, and you can tell from this one. So the person who gifted me this rifle went to a very reputable outdoor sports store, and the salesman there told her, don't buy this gun. It's a piece of shit. Verbatim, it's a wall gun. It's never been fired. Why would you buy this? The reason you buy this gun is look at it. The thing is freaking mint. Absolutely mint. It shoots great. And you can't come any closer to a Mauser that's, factory new. And that guy did not understand this hobby, and he didn't put the research in, and that's why it's important to do so. And you can learn from lessons like this one that one man's trash is another man's treasure. So thank you for joining me on this three-part experience that is known as the Cosmean removal of the Zastava M48B. This has been an immensely profound learning experience for me, and I hope it has been for you. Our next video, we don't necessarily know what the topic is going to be. We're having a very large internal debate within the channel that is Beat, Feed, Retreat Military History. So we'll get back to you on what the topic of the next video will be, but it should be out sometime in the next 2 weeks. So stay posted, and thank you for watching again.